Well, hey guys, it's Miss Suzanne, and today we're going to be multiplying 3 digits. We're going to multiply numbers by 3 digits. All right, so to multiply numbers by 3 digits, the first thing that we have to do is we multiply by the ones, then multiply by the tens, then multiply by the hundreds, and then add the partial products. So over here we have 541 times 122. So we're going to first multiply by the ones. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. All right, so multiply by the ones. Now I'm going to put a 0 to hold my place, and now I multiply by the tens. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And then 2 times 5 is 10 again. All right, so again, I've multiplied by the 10, so now I have to multiply by the hundreds. And I've crossed out 2 zeros, so I put 2 zeros down below in the ones and in the tens place to hold my spot. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 5 is 5. And so now I have multiplied by the ones, by the tens, by the hundreds, and I want to add my partial products. So to add my partial products, I get 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 1 is 10. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. And then 5 plus 1 is 6. So I get 66,002. Again, if you want to go back and check, let's see, I have in the ones place, I have 2, I have 4, 10, cross out the 0, then I have 2, and then 8, and then 10, and then I cross out, I have 2 zeros, and then I have 1, 4, 1, and then I look at how I've added, and everything looks great. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to round to estimate, then multiply. So we've talked about this in class, and we've talked about how when we see these directions, that means I need to do 2 things, and that I'm going to have 2 answers. So first, let's round to estimate. Well, when you round to estimate with products, you always round each factor to its greatest place. And in this case, they each have the greatest place of 100. So 742 is going to round to 700. 343 is going to round to 300. Multiply, that's rounding, so now I have to get the estimate. 7 times 3 is 21, and then I add 4 zeros because I have 4 zeros in my factors, and we get 210,000. Okay, that's the first part. Now I have to do this, then multiply. So what I do is I multiply by the ones first. Let me erase all this. Okay, I want to multiply by the ones first. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. And 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1 is 22. Say hello, Owen. Owen just walked in. All right, so now I've multiplied by the ones. I put a 0 to hold my place, and now I multiply by the tens. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. And then 4 times 7 is 28, plus 1 is 29. And Miss Suzanne did not leave herself enough room. So we're going to put 2 zeros down to hold my spot. And I multiply by the hundreds. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1, and then that's 22. And I'm sorry, guys, Miss Suzanne did not leave herself enough room. So let's see. That's going to be 6. That's going to be 10. That's going to be 12, and 3 is 15. That's going to be 12, and 2 is 14. And then that's going to be, let's see, 5 and 2. So I think that's 254,506. Let's check that one tomorrow, or let me know if I was wrong on that one tomorrow. All right, now pause the video and I want you to do this other problem right here. I want you to do the 305 times 271. All right, so when we round to estimate, 305 is going to round to 300. 271 is going to round to 300, and I get 90,000. Okay, I get 90,000. Now let's get our answer, the real answer. Okay, so what I've got, 5 times 1 is 5, 1 times 0 is 0, and 1 times 3 is 3. I'll cross out the 1, put a 0 to hold my spot. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 0 is 0, but add 3 and I get a 3. And then 7 times 3 is 21. All right, so I've multiplied by the ones and the tens. Now I have to multiply by the hundreds. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. And then 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, add it together and we get 5, 5, 6, 2, and 8. So 82,655, which is really close to 90,000. So looks good. All right, so next what I want you to do is I want you to do the same thing. Well, right now, no, we're not going to do the same thing. We're just going to find the product. So that means that we do not estimate. We just find the product. So pause the video and let's see what you get. All right, so when we multiply by the ones. 9 times 9 is 8. Times 0 is 0 plus 8 is 8. 9 times 7 is 63. And then 18 plus 6 is 24. All right, so I've multiplied by the ones. Now I put a 0 to hold my spot, and now I multiply by the tens. So we get 9, 0, 7, and then 2. All right, so I've multiplied by the ones, I've multiplied by the tens. Now we're going to multiply by the hundreds. So that is 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 7 is 7. 8 times 7 is 56. And then 8 times 2 is 16 plus 5 is 21. And so you can see everything is lined up. And remember, like your notebook, what this is this is really saying 9 times 2,709. Here is where we said 10 times 2,709. And then the last one is where we said 800 times 2,709. And so we add all these partial products, and what we get is 1, 17, let's see, 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6, 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18, and then that is 10, 11, 2, and then 2. So, oops, I put my comma in the wrong place. So we get 2,218,671. All right, and then finally, a supermarket receives 625 cases of oranges. Each case holds 135 oranges. How many oranges are in all does the supermarket receive? So they had, this is a case of oranges right here. So they had 625 cases. Each case had 135 oranges in it. So now we got to figure out how many oranges in all does the supermarket receive. So let's multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. And then times 6 is 30 plus 1 is 31. All right, put a 0 to hold our spot. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then 3 times 6 is 18. And then finally, we're going to multiply by the hundreds. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 6 is 6. And then add them all together. And we have 5, 7, that's 12, 13, 10, 14, and then 8. So 84,375 oranges. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Tuesday. All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.